Hey guys, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I think the last video that I made on this channel was April or August of last year. Updates for you guys. We've moved. We're no longer in an apartment. And I'm no longer 39. I am now 40 years old. And today is May, I forgot what day it is, 15th, 2025. And it's a pretty big day, I think. And it's a pretty big day because, oh man, I've decided to kind of quit. I've decided to kind of give up. I've decided to kind of start over. I was actually motivated and encouraged by a fellow YouTuber, seemingly a friend that I've made that lives in Ireland, I think. And he says, Kevin, have you ever told your story? Have you ever like really just explained your life and how you got where you are and doing what you're doing and things like that? And I'm like, no, I've never done that. He goes, well, why not? And I said, well, my first response was fear of rejection. And I said, I've never had an audience where I felt comfortable sharing that. And he says, well, I'd sure love to hear it. Now, I'm not going to do that on this video, but what I am going to do is take his advice and really allow myself to distance myself, detach from what was a confirmation bias. It's easier said than done, especially if the things that you were doing that were negative, that were not helpful, were working and profitable. I'll explain. So, like the news, the media, when they want to get your attention, they will present a headline. The headlines that usually get the most attention are the bad ones, the negative ones. Now, granted, you could kind of overcome that with a super positive, but the super positive needs to kind of be like a handout. So, for example, you could say these could all probably lead to the same place, the same web page, the same URL, same blog post, same course trying to be sold or whatever. It doesn't matter. And you could say, 75% of Americans can't afford their minimum payments on their credit cards. It goes over here. A lot of people will probably click on it. Sounds bad. You know, all these people are filing bankruptcy because their credit cards were canceled. So it goes to the same place. But at the same time, you could also probably present it as 6 ways that you can stay out of credit card debt. You could still tell the same story and end with the solution. It all goes to the same place. And lastly, eliminate your credit card debt now for free. Government's giving away free, whatever. Come up with something. They all go to the same place. But the first two being super negative is probably going to get the most attention, the most visibility, go viral, most impressions, most views, most engagement. The how-to will probably get the least amount because most people aren't super interested in actually learning how and or implementing and doing. And then the last one being the free handout. Well, that one may rival the two negatives because people just want something for nothing, basically. However, when you focus on the negative, when you literally take something positive of eliminating credit card debt and then try to make it negative, you kind of get stuck in this cycle, and it works. And it works and it works and it works. And what happens is, well, you end up in a group of people, surrounded by people who only want the negative. That's it. So literally, you're starting to take every good, positive, neutral, balanced thing in your life and turn it into a negative. For instance, uh, hey, come on. For instance, I started a new channel, and this has actually really helped me out a lot. And it's a car. I didn't start a new channel. I've had this channel for years, but I've just now recently started giving it more attention. And I was falling into the trap of being a YouTuber. And that, I think that's a huge problem right now, the trap of being a YouTuber. And so the YouTuber trap is extra over sensationalized clickbait negativity, you know, extremely vague, intriguing, theoretically, titles and thumbnails. Here's my car. There's my car back there. And I didn't want to do that because the problem is like I really like my car, and so creating content that would appear as though I don't it just seemed counterintuitive. It just seemed backwards. It seemed wrong. And so I didn't, and I literally just titled videos and told stories based on the truth and how I felt and things like that. Now, there is a little caveat to this. It still brings in negativity. Like there's people out there in the world that they're never going to be happy, and they're always like, they want to rain on your parade. The comment section is open for everybody. But I got thick skin, so that's not a big deal. But the thing that happened today was the channel actually grew in about a week, maybe two. The channel grew in about a week or two, and now it's monetized. And for years, I've had this channel, and I kept playing the game or trying to play the game, the YouTube game, and it was not working, and it was actually taking something that I really enjoyed and making me dread it. And so I literally said, well, I don't really care about the money. I just want to make videos that I enjoy it was a break. It was a vacation. It was an opportunity for me to disconnect and unplug from the grind of the negativity and confirmation bias that everybody else wanted, or at least the algorithm was rewarding. And then something happened. Like I started connecting with real people who had similar interests and was making it easier for me to have these conversations. And it was awesome. So this morning, I started a new company, a new business. I put all my YouTube channels under their own business, under their own LLC. And, we're gonna do that moving forward. Now, I still have the other ones, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. I am going to quit. I am going to kind of rebrand, maybe, where my focus was, to not be so negative, to not be so hungry and thirsty for chasing the payoff, which was just pure negativity, and instead actually providing value in true and honest conversations and stories that I just naturally resonate with, which is essentially what I did with the car channel. The main channel is a little bit strange, a little bit odd, because it has an audience. It has this vibe, this feel. It's got some subscribers that are going to say things like, well, Kevin, you've changed, yada, yada, yada. And that's okay. That's fine. But this is me growing, evolving, maturing, and just sharing that. So essentially, I think I'm going to focus my attention on like 3 or 4 channels. So I have a big main channel that kind of talks about news and stuff. And so I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do it negatively. I'm only going to do it in a way that I would normally talk about current events and news and business and money and things like that, life in general. This is me sharing it for you, but it's also me sharing this for me. I need to vocalize this, and then I also can come back on this and remind myself in case I ever kind of like go astray. lose focus, get distracted. And so the main channel I mean, every channel is just going to be real, raw, and honest, but the main channel will be like news and stuff. And then I have a channel that I'll share with my wife where we just kind of like talk in general, like we would normally. Just we have a camera on or we're going live about whatever the topic may be. And then I've got the car channel, which is just car stuff. Literally, the description of the channel is fun, fast cars. That's it. That's it. Literally. If cars aren't fun, then I don't want to mess with them. You know, they don't have to be like crazy fast because you don't want to get in trouble. But that's it. There's no spin. It's not going to become a channel of hawking merchandise and taking every sponsorship deal and every product upgrade and doing the craziest, most outlandish modifications. No, not going to do that. And then I have this channel, and I'm going to devote more time to this channel because this channel I think is just going to be the conversations that I would have with anybody or myself, my younger self, or whoever comes across it. Actually, the other day we were outside. I was outside, and there was a young man, and he was here to do a mobile detail to wash the car, and we ended up started talking about business and the future. And he's only 20 years old. He's got a lot of life left in him, a lot to learn. It's crazy to think that was me 20 years ago. But I said, hey, guy, like think about it like this: like you have a great opportunity because of the business you're in. You're also of a great age that's naturally using TikTok and other forms of social media. These are going to be extremely valuable to you in the future. So it's literally like driveway conversation talks like that, or when people come up to me and say, well, how did you afford this and how did you afford that? Like, we bought this house. This house was substantial, more than I wanted to spend. And it's not a brag or anything, but it's kind of like, well, you know we want to do certain things in life. We want to have certain things. We want to be able to do certain things. We want to live a certain way, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, whatever way that may be. However, I can share that with people and share my story, and usually more often than not, I can really help them analyze where they are and what they want and identify ways in which they can get it. That's pretty much it. But that's it, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I think I got like 11 subscribers on this channel. So thanks for subscribing. And I look forward to talking to you guys more in the future. Take care.